Hayato Jin Kawaii.
It's gonna be black and white?
Yes.
How long did you work on this project?
How long?
Yeah.
I worked on it about, I think I spent about 200 hours. And it was pretty brutal. I am born in Japan, Tokyo, but I moved back and forth, but I am from the greater Boston area. I lived in Boston for about more than 20 years. Yeah, it's been a while.
Have you ever thought to go into San Francisco?
Yeah, actually, that's where I want to be at eventually. Because I just really like the vibe there. There's a lot of artists. There's not too many artists in Boston, so it's hard to meet new artists all the time. So I like to go there sometime. So I work here at the Yumeo Katae, and I used to be a customer that came a lot. And there was a sign that said, looking for part-time jobs, so I was interested. And the funny part is, I went for the interview and all they asked me was what my dream was. And I'm like, whoa, this is a lot of questions for me that I didn't really expect. I thought they were gonna ask me the business aspects, but Yumeo Katare actually means talking about your dreams, and our boss wants to create an environment where everyone can share their dreams in public, and I thought that was pretty cool. And back then when I started, I didn't really know what I wanted to do in life, so it was a great push for me. My dad's dream was to be a famous doctor here, so he took me and his family here, and I've been here ever since. So for a living, I do freelancing on the side. I'm currently looking for a job, a full-time job, so I can support myself. But I like to keep on doing freelancing things. As a designer, I do graphic design, digital design, web design.
So you consider yourself as a designer?
I do, yeah. Well, the funny part is I went to University of Connecticut for 6 years, and for the first 3 years I studied chem and I had no interest in drawing. I did it as a hobby, but not as something I would want to do as a job. But I couldn't have enough of I just had enough of chemistry, and I had to change it. And my passion was drawing, so I went to drawing. My inspiration comes from everyone. So everything I see, everyone I meet. My dad is the biggest inspiration to me because he threw away everything in Japan, and he came to the States to be a professor. He's now a full-time Harvard professor, and he was chosen for the American Surgical Society, which is very great. And like watching him, it's just a great impact on my life. I just want to do something as much as him, I guess, in a different way, in my own style. I thought it was interesting because some of the people were still the same. They still had the same heroes, but most of them had some, you know, heroes from like comic books and like cartoons, but they eventually, you know, became more realistic. Became their fathers, mothers. But my idea was, I think it's very important to still think about your childhood heroes and think about your heroes now at the same time. So, because that's where you get your inspiration from. That's how they shape their lives.
Thank you.
I like to draw anything that's on my mind. I don't really carry a sketchbook, and I just start drawing. I don't keep notes or anything. I should, but I never keep notes. So all these shirts in the store is my work. And I don't really have one set of style of art or like art style. I don't really have an art style. That's only because, well, half of it is because I get bored easily. And the other reason is because growing up in America, I always wanted to express my two cultures that I had, Japanese and American, and I wanted to fuse them together into one. And if I had to call my art style, if I had to pick art style, that'd be my art style.
Okay. Who is your favorite artist?
Who's my favorite artist? Oof. Good one. I think Keith Haring.
Could you tell me about him a little bit?
Keith
Because
Haring.
I don't know.
Yeah. He's like a graffiti artist that started from New York. He's not alive anymore, but he's everywhere. I think you've seen him before. Maybe.
Career.
My next step in career is to find a full-time job, save up, and start my own streetwear company.
Do you like to travel?
I do like to travel. Funny thing is, I'm going to Europe this Sunday, so I'm gonna have fun. Mainly, I just want to have fun, see the world. I just feel really small living in Boston all the time, so I just have to get out, see something else for once. This artwork is called Heroes Never Die. And my idea behind it is that in our lifetime we have heroes that we look up to, get inspirations from. So I had this huge survey. I asked students, I asked professors, I asked all my friends to tell me who their heroes were. And I drew every one of them.
So where are you gonna travel? Where exactly are you going?
I'm going to France, Spain, Barcelona specifically, and Italy, as long as we can. From my experience, I did something I didn't like for a long time, and it gave me, I needed a lot of passion and risk to sacrifice I didn't want to do, and to do something I wanted to do with a greater risk. So I think it's good to take risks and go for what you want in life. I think that's the point. That's the point of life. To have fun, enjoy.
Very good. If you could meet any artist, who that will be?
Anyone dead? Like dead?
It doesn't matter if you can meet anybody. Picasso, maybe Edward Malevers, I don't know.
I think Van Gogh. Yeah, I like to meet Van Gogh if I could, because it's interesting because he only sold, I think, one or a couple paintings during his lifetime, and he was famous afterwards. And I just wanna see and experience his lifestyle as an artist, and how he lived, and how he had this drive to live on even if no one bought his art, you know.